we were having myself, you, and Anatu for Boating, and I can say that it became very interesting at a point, and you could see how passionate Chris Carter was talking about it. This has to do with the Ghana Education Service interdicting the Ikeja Chrome SHTS teacher over alleged sexual misconduct. Well, 3 days ago, we saw some videos making waves on social media, and people were asking that, oh, is this coming right after what has happened at KNUST Senior High School, that the assistant headmaster was also saying in some compromising way with that student there, and now it's with another senior high school. What is happening in our senior high school? So just read the excerpt of it. So the Ghana Education Service has interdicted a teacher, Mr. Richard Tibeto of Okija Chrome Senior High Technical School in the Oti region over alleged sexual misconduct involving a female student. In a statement issued on on Thursday, October 2, GES said it has taken note of a disturbing video circulating on social media alleged implicating the teacher in the act. The GES described the conduct as unacceptable, unethical, and a clear violation of professional conduct of the conduct of teachers. The statement said Mr. Tibeto has been prohibited from entering the school premises while further investigations are carried out. And we also saw another one too that happened at the KNUST, and the MP for Chufo Atimokwa, I think, on D, made some comment on this. Well, it didn't really sit down well with a lot of people. That has to do with the KNUST one, and later he also apologized with that. Let's bring you except of that. When we come back on the show, we will have conversations on that. We will open the phone lines so you can share your thoughts on how best you think that these schools or students in these schools can be handled so that they do not become prey to these teachers or some of these acts. And also be speaking to some experts in the field who will be telling us what they think that will be the best way going forward to ensure that, well, the school atmosphere or the environment there becomes a safe environment or haven for students who go there for teaching and learning purposes and not for amorous relationship. Let's bring you that video after we have conversations on that.
I'm a realist.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a realist. Yeah. I don't like saying things that are not what it is.
Okay.
I like to say things the way they are. So we share video ni year.
Okay.
Sincerely, the man was not forcing the young girl.
One forcing akwadano.
No, hold on.
Okay.
One forcing young girl, no.
Okay.
It was more of a consented thing that the old man and the young man,
a young lady,
young lady agreed to do.
Okay.
That must be established.
Okay.
There is no sin whatsoever. It suggests to say, Papa no force a girl, no.
Okay.
There is no sin whatsoever like that.
Like now, akwani twetwe ho.
That
So be and headmaster no enforcing so be draw akwani in. Debi any one sir.
Debi.
Osha a consensus effort.
It was a consented thing. Both agreed to be in that mood. Portions of the statement I made during the discussion was taken out of context and was placed, and it was all over the place, which of course was suggesting that I sided with the head tutor in the relationship he had with the student. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to plead with all of you and to all Ghanaians who may be watching me now, that if that video played by Adum TV brought any discomfort to anybody, I apologize for that, comment. However, I never meant to side with the tutor.
So this was actually when Von D, that is Dominic Von D, who is the NP for Chifo Atimokwa, faced some public backlash after making comments on the KNU West Senior High School head assistant headmaster student funding case there, and he faced some public backlash on that, and he came back to clear the air, but that one still didn't sit down well with Chris Carter. The female in that compromising way, KNU West, came out to say some things in a video that an assistant headmaster in a compromising situation had broken her silence. He says that, well, she's not 13 that people are saying, she's 19 years, and that's still, Chris Carter still has some issues with that. We'll be giving you the chance to also make your submissions and your comments on this so that you can also understand from you what you think is happening in the senior high schools now. Ikeja Chrome, we've seen it there. We've also seen it in KNUST Senior High School. It may even be that we've not even seen a lot of these videos in most of the senior high schools, but they are happening in the senior high schools. What you think? Are there some personal experiences you'd want to share with us on the set? And also, we'll be speaking to the authorities or the experts who understand this space very well and what they think that can be done going forward. Chris?
Right. I don't care if the girl has come out to say she's not whatever. Do you understand? She's not underage or whatever. You're in school. Be there and do what you're supposed to do there. This is not the time to be chasing your father's age mates, to be having a relationship with your father's age mates, or your father's age mates coming to you and then proposing a relationship with you.
Chris, just hold on there. Let's speak to Bright Apia, who is the boss for the Child Rights International, for us to understand briefly what he makes of these two instances in the senior high schools and what he thinks that going forward can be done. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you're doing well.
Yes, I'm doing very well.
Good. I'm doing good as well. I'm sure you've seen both videos from KNUST, and you've seen that one too at Ikeja Chrome. You being with the Child Rights International, what do you make of this?
Well, it's just a reminder of things that are happening in our schools. And we are getting to know of it because somehow somebody decided to record it. And that is what is making us to be aware of what is happening. But beyond that, this is an old tradition that has lived with children in schools for a while now. And this level that we are in, I think that what is needed is how best we can address this issue once and for all.
And how best do you think we can address this issue once and for all?
Well, there are many fronts that we can look at this. One, you know that once you have a capacity to provide training for children, there are certain protocols that you have to abide by, or that must regulate the work that you do. First, as a professional person, irrespective of the profession, but once you're a professional, then you find yourself providing training for children, and that require that you should be measured by a standard of care. Then again, you should also be measured by your own professional code of conduct, the training that you have acquired, and how you need to deliver the skills that you have acquired over the years. Again, you should also be measured by the existing laws that protect interests of children. So, by so doing, any act that you engage yourself in that is contrary to the provisions in these protocols and the conventions, then the system can give you a certain level of punishment for you to know that you cannot do this against a child. But in most cases, we have failed to really invoke the standard of care and that of the Convention on the Right of the Child, which can also give birth to what I call the safeguarding policy in our schools. So we have not invoked that aspect properly. So we have leaned towards the code of conduct, which is also limited in terms of how we can provide punishment to people who commit such offense. I strongly believe that put all these three together and we invoke the authority that exists in them, we should be able to see the environment protected. Because the point is that we are discussing this because the children have gone through it, and as to what they have acquired in the process, whether it's negative or positive, we cannot measure it and we cannot tell how their behavior is going to be. So for us to add value to it, then it means that at the entry point of all these things, we need to put certain preventive mechanisms to ensure that children do not even go through those processes at all. And in the case where they go through, the number should be small in such a way that the system can carry out rehabilitation programs on them. So prevention is very key as a way of doing that. And if we want to invoke preventive mechanisms, then there's a need for us, standard of care, and then the Prevention or the Children's Act to be able to give birth to the safeguarding policy that would safeguard the lives of children in that system. And I strongly believe that when we do that, we should be able to find a lasting solution to the difficulties that children are going through. And if you also look at the safeguarding policy, and you look at other countries, the safeguarding policies have give birth to certain mechanisms, like the structural system that you need to put in place, like the counseling unit, the service of the social welfare, a clinical psychologist, and people that children can easily report matters to. Because what we have now indicates that the very people who are committing such offenses against the children are the very people that will be assembled as a committee that affect them.
Right.
So definitely there's no confidence or there's no any kind of incentive for children to decide that when they go to such matters, they have to report it to a particular person within the school. An event where they even report to a teacher or something, if you look at all the investigations that we've done, Ghana Education Survey has done on matters like this, you will find a way, you will find something in the report that indicates that the child is either a bad girl, who's also contributed to the activity of the teacher. So clearly, we don't resolve matters of that nature with that kind of approach. So it is important that when we have a safeguarding policy, you have independent mechanisms in place that would give confidence to children to report such matters. And then will be dealt with immediately so that the excesses is not carried out of the school environment. Once you do this, they complete school and situate them within the broader society, then you can imagine the kind of harm and the kind of statement that they'll be making in respect to things that they've gone through that nobody nobody gave them a listening ear. So we will be dealing with criminal issues, we will be dealing with civil matters, but we'll also be strengthening their moral values so that they can fit in society properly. And for me, it will help for us to deal with this issue properly.
Wow. From your end, do you think that the country has done enough, one, to protect the girl child, or even students in the senior high schools, because you have all the fine laws and all the fine things you can find on the shelves, or the code of conduct and everything that is needed for the teachers to be dealt with? Another one too is that we are just noticing that the child says that she's 19 instead of 13 years. Do the age matter in this case at all?
Well, the subject that you are discussing and the person who committed it, the age do not play so much role. Because I'm sure the game is that they want to invoke the principle of consent, where the law says that you can consent to certain activities at the age of 16 years. And in fact, when you even go into the law and some of the judicial pronouncement, you come to the conclusion that the consent stated in the law is not even enough. What the law is actually calling for is informed consent. So it means the child must be aware of the consequences of the act that the child is involved in. So I'm sure they are taking advantage of that provision to invoke that, to be able to and lessen the burden that will come on the teacher. But whatever it is, and then looking at what we are discussing, I don't think that consent or the age of the child should be an issue that we should look at. It only comes in when probably we want to do an arrest, and then we feel that like offense has been committed. And when that happens, then the age will be an issue. But if you purely want to look at it from the civil point of view, you the whole thing by the standard of care that the teacher is supposed to give. Because if you are a teacher and you teach children, you have put yourself in an advantage position to influence their decisions. For that matter, the age will not matter. So I don't think that this. And I've even asked that kind of age that the child has mentioned should be properly investigated, and that of the ministry also mentioned 13, and I call on them to also do proper investigation into it, because both ages are questionable. So we need to do a proper investigation to be able to establish that. But for me, it is immaterial if you want to look at it from the civil point of view. But if it is criminal, then age will matter in the process.
Okay. And again, I was asking if we've protected a child enough or children enough in the senior high schools, per the policies or the code of conduct we do have on our shelves.
And that has been the issue. When this issue came up, you realize that a lot of attention is on the teacher as to what they can apply in respect to the code of conduct. And the best or the extreme that they can do is to either dismiss the teacher or give the teacher a transfer. So I think that in that respect, they've been able to do that. But because there's no any framework that governs how the child also needs to be treated in the process, we had a little in terms of authorities' engagement with the child and how best they can provide certain psychological support for the child. And I'm sure it is because we have neglected that aspect. That is why the advantage of it to orient the child to be very strong on the age matter. So in most cases, we don't really pay attention to children in the process, and it's not even in institutions. Well, the court is also part of, because sometimes rape cases and department cases go to court, and the court is so fixated on the criminal aspect of it, and they can give all manner of sentences, the perpetrator. But when it comes to the welfare system of the victim, nothing is said about it. So it's the child lives with all the psychological packages that goes with it, and nobody cares about how the child will turn out in the future and all that. So we have not really paid attention. And what we are experiencing, what we are seeing from the child, to be bold enough to fix the camera, or to be bold enough to come out and talk about the fact that you are 19 years. And when you talk to any clinical psychologist, will tell you that no, this is not normal, and there's something wrong with the child that needs to be corrected. But here we are. We've not really talked about the child in the context of the home case and then that of the KNUST, and that is worrying and very sad.
Anyway, few questions before you take leave of us. One, the various authorities or stakeholders or institutions, NCC has come out to say that, well, we'll be going around to embark on some education for these children so that they understand how best they can conduct themselves in the senior high schools and all that. Do you think that some institutions have failed in coming out to ensure that the right thing is done for discipline to really go down well in the senior high schools?
You see, as for education, people say they want to do awareness, they want to do that. But the question that you need to ask yourself is, on what basis are you doing the education? There must be a material evidence before you to be able to say that on the basis of this, I want to educate the children on the rules and regulations governing the school environment. And here's the case, you don't have any safeguarding policy that spells out what exactly that you need to do. So the exercise of awareness becomes a discretionary thing that people do, and it's not uniform. And for us to be properly, to have children to understand the relationship that they need to have with their teachers, and the teachers must also understand the relationship that they need to have with students, then we can place the awareness and the education in a context so that when we are doing certain things, we do it properly. Because the Children's Act is not enough, and it's an act. So more or less, having give more details to institutions to be able to do what they have to do. Rather ride on the shoulders of the Children's Act to give birth to other child protection policies in the institutions, to validate the Children's Act. But for me, as you ask me, the attention of the state should be on how to have specific policies within our schools that should give us the power to carry out the education and the awareness for them to have information so that when things happen to them, they will know where to report to and they will know how to even resist some of these acts.
Thank you so much, Executive Director for Child's Rights International, Bright Apia. We are grateful for joining us and also helping us understand what really must go into this and the sanctions that must be meted out to teachers and senior headmasters and all that who misconduct themselves. This is serious misconduct, because you know that you have a student in the school, and by virtue of the fact that you have the power, you take advantage of these students.
Yeah, it's true, because like, even that's why I say, even if the girl comes out to say she's 20 years old, she's still a student in the school, and that is not a relationship. It's actually exploitation, because a student cannot consent in the shadow of power imbalance. We are not equals. And you see, this is why when feminists come out and talk about some of these things, people just bash them because they do not understand when feminists are talking about equality. If these two people felt equal, it's easier to say, oh, they're probably the same age mates. Oh yeah, probably they know what they're doing, and you understand, they both consented to what they're doing. But this is a power imbalance where this man is here. This is like assistant headmaster, and this girl is here. Obviously, when he comes down and says, oh, okay, let's do this, let's do that, she's going to feel like she's going to be like this. You understand? She feels like, okay, I'm going to meet him there. So it's just not right. It's just not, nobody can justify this. I know, like he said, they're going to use the whole consent age thing to back it up, to water down the whole situation. But there is a serious power imbalance. And when there is serious power imbalance, there comes coercion. And coercion goes hand in hand with sexual abuse, whether we like it or not. And I like the fact that he also talked about the effects that this has on these young girls. There's a lot of psychological thing going on there. There's an emotional balance. There are problems that are going to come in the future that she won't see. Tomorrow, all these people, everyone that is saying, oh, this girl is this, that. When this girl starts going out with her father age mates and focus on those kind of men in life, tomorrow the same society will be like, oh, she's a spoiled girl. Oh, she's a bad. You didn't see your mate. She's a materialistic girl. That's why she's going out for this old man. But when this thing was happening, the same society will say, oh, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. But meanwhile, these are some of the psychological effects, because now she's going to feel like, I can't do anything with my age mate. My age mate can probably not give me what I need because this man has spoiled me. Do you understand? And when somebody like that goes out there, we will have a problem tomorrow. No, wrong is wrong. And let's call it what it is. Wrong is wrong. There is power play right there, and it's happened. So that man should not only be sacked or whatever, he should serve jail time.
Anyway, we'll give you the chance for you to call us 0302 784 969 0302 784 969. Please call us. Let's understand from your side what you think that can be done, how you think that the narrative can be changed, how you think that the teachers should be dealt with in the senior high schools, what you also make of some conduct or behavior of students, because we cannot take them out as well. Whether you also think that the various authorities, i.e. the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and all other institutions have done their best. Joseph from Winneba is the first caller on the line. Joseph, good morning. Let's hear from you. What do you have to say?
Good morning, Philip.
Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Philip. I'm just as you said, and I'm a teacher in the senior high school.
Oh, you're a teacher.
And yes, please.
Good. Let's hear from you.
By the grace of God, I started teaching about 10 years ago. And I'm about, at the moment, I'm about 24 years. So I started teaching when I was 24.
Beautiful.
Well, when I started teaching, anytime there was an allegation that maybe there's an harassment or there's a relationship with the student, normally they think that we, the young ones who are not married, are those who would indulge in those things. And it will surprise you that it is the senior men, those who are even married, are those who are involved in those acts. And what will even surprise you that when they do that, it serves as, in fact, a worrying issue for some of us. Because when it's happening like that, it's like the students just think that, oh, even senior men are even playing with us, they are even indulging in all kind of things with us. But you young ones, and even sometimes when you tell them that they should do certain things, they even go like, they want to disrespect you because it's like senior men are even doing all sorts of things with them. So we, the young ones, they see that, oh, we are even small before them. And in fact, all these teachers, college teachers who are involved in this, I see them to be demons. Excuse my language. Because these students are not your wives, or they are not people that you are supposed to do those things with them. You must see them as your children because you are training them. And I always tell them, when you go to town, you can meet your mate or whoever you want to marry them. You have teachers around, you have hairdressers around, you have even those who are in training college, or those who are even completed nursing and teachers training college, who are even looking for marriage. So if you think you want to marry somebody and stay, marry somebody and stay, and leave somebody's child. Imagine you have sent your child to school and they are doing all these kind of things there. You wouldn't be happy. And after all, what will you get when you go and press this small breast and bottles? It won't do anything to you. And sometimes they bring the shame to the teaching fraternity because they think that all those who are there are involved in doing that. And it even shocked me. There was a friend in town, I was working in town, and a colleague asked me, oh, where am I working? And I said, I'm in this secondary school. What the guy said, oh, the way others are doing this, and he wishes he's also teaching there, like the way you also do this. And I said, no. We not all of us there are doing those things. It's some portion of people, and they always make allegations. But personally, I've not seen some before. I've not witnessed some before until maybe there's an evidence with a video or pictures to show. So we are praying that our colleagues, maybe if it is some demons which are worrying them, we pray that God will deliver them from those acts.
Amen. Amen. They are demons. They are demons.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
You can also join us with your comment submissions and thoughts via WhatsApp line, which is on the screens, and you can also join us via phone, which is also on the screen, 0302-978-696, so that we will see how best we can deal with the issues in the various senior high schools and what really is happening. Earlier this morning, we had some messages that we would actually share with you. We are still waiting for calls. In our society, we often find ourselves grappling with issues clouded by Reverend, let's deal with Reverend Ansa from Volta region. He's joining us to share his thoughts. Reverend, let's hear from you. Good morning.
Yeah, I want to speak into the issue of the sexual harassment that of late is in its apogee. Actually, two people have been empowered in each secondary school as a focal person to take care of the sexual harassment issues. This is giving room to students to come and report to those people anytime there are sexual harassment issues. And I believe with the current situation, I think that it is good those people act fast.
Yeah.
Because in each of the secondary schools, there are issues of sexual harassment. The students feel so bad to come and report. But with this focal person issues in the secondary schools that have been introduced by teachers, I believe it's a great empowerment for students to get the courage to come and report these harassment issues. And I think we have to take it from there.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people who have been empowered to take care of such issues.
Right.
In secondary schools, it's not only the girls who are sexually harassed.
Yes. Yes.
In the actual fact, men, the student males are also harassed sexually.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it is the girl whom the focus
It's
is
on.
being put on. And so it's good DES is taking such a what do you call it?
Action.
A decision
Right.
to interdict people who want to harass our students sexually.
Right.
At the end of the day, we are their parents.
Right.
And so their parents put them under our care. And so it will not speak well of us if we begin to harass them.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is a sexual assault or sexual harassment.
It's
And
harassment.
so people have given us power. And I'm sure this November, October is a month of creating awareness. And so when school resumes, especially the single track schools, when school resumes, I think we take it from there. We've been empowered to go out, not in the schools alone. We have to go out in the community and create awareness. Sometimes it's because teachers are not aware. Teachers are not aware of what they do.
They're not aware, as in they don't know they are
And
adults.
so we want to believe that with the empowerment given to us, I think it will be minimized.
Okay,
It will
Reverend.
not be eradicated.
Reverend, thank you so much for your time.
You're
And we are grateful. Chris, I just want us to give this text that this. Well, let's just understand what he or she
Please
is
read
coming
that
from.
text. I saw it too.
In our society, we often find ourselves grappling with issues crowded by hypocrisy. A recent incident involving head of academics and a young girl has sparked significant discussion. While it is important to stress that I do not support or excuse the actions of the academic head, I believe the narrative around the girl involved also deserves more balanced perspective. Too often, the tendency is to immediately frame young girls in such situations solely as victims. Yet, when we examine broader social behavior, a more complex picture emerges. For example, we have seen senior high school graduates openly post videos on social media, sometimes making bold statements such as intending to take people's husbands and engaging in conduct that normalize inappropriate relationships. Within schools, there are also well-documented cases of schools or students themselves entering in relationship with teachers or older figures, despite clear ethical and professional boundaries. These realities do not justify misconduct from authority figures. In fact, they underscore the need for accountability on all sides. However, focusing only on one dimension of the issue while ignoring the social behavior that contributes to such scandals reveals a troubling double standard. But we will talk about that shortly. I just read that for you.
Hi,
Irama.
Irama.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Irama.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you for having me. Please, I want to say that the headmasters and the head teachers, they are doing it too much. And this man has to serve a jail sentence.
All right.
Because there's power and there's this little girl. I'm trying to say that if it were to be your daughter, you will be happy. Oh, I have gone through it before. When I was in SS, I couldn't go down to the teacher's level. So because of that, they had to withdraw me from the school.
Oh,
I couldn't defend myself.
Wow.
And my mom, my late mom, because she had not been to school before, she couldn't defend me. She couldn't even come to the school to talk for me. Just imagine, I had to go through the shame, but nobody stood behind me. This thing, they are overdoing it. The man should serve a jail sentence.
And what, during your time when you suffered this, what did the headmaster or head teacher or whoever
They didn't have to listen to me. They didn't have to listen to my side.
They never listen.
They never. this teacher would tell me, come to my house and cook for me. Come to my house and wash my clothes. Am I your servant?
Really? And how did you stand?
And my friends would say, oh, ladies, hold on, don't go. Like, if you have friends that will try to support you or to encourage you not to do something, sometimes it's good. Sometimes others will push you to go and do it to have your peace of mind. But this thing doesn't help.
But how did you fight this? How did you stand against it?
I couldn't fight it.
So you gave in?
Yes, no, I didn't give in.
She
I
left
had
the
to stop
school.
the school.
Oh.
She stopped school.
Yes. So my mom had to, I came back home and my mom had to take me to another school. It was stressful for me. Oh God, it was so stressful.
I'm so sorry, Rama. I'm sorry.
So sorry.
But I'm glad that, that is gone.
Okay, so
And so today I have witnesses and my friends can attest to this thing. This thing it has been happening to young ladies. Trust me. And I think the assemblies can also put up a team where children can go and report incidents like this to support them. Sometimes when you don't have somebody to support you, you feel so lost, so divided, so alone. You understand?
All right.
what advice will you give to your young self? By way, meaning that the young ladies or the young girls in the various schools who may be going through similar ordeals, what advice will you give to them?
Talk to your parents. Talk to your parents. Keep pushing. Keep standing on your ground. Say no.
Rama, thank you so much. We're grateful for your
Thank you,
time. Anyway, that was a very sad one.
You see?
That
These are some of the things
So was actually compelled to leave the school.
She had to leave the school. So imagine she had a parent that could not afford the next school.
You'll be forced to stay in the school.
That's it. That's the end of education for you. Just because of one randy teacher.
And you end up giving in and you'll be washing. That's what the previous caller said, that if you are ready to marry, there are a lot of people out there. Go get married. Go have the matured ones. Don't be going after the young ones who ideally we are seeing as the next future, and you'd want to just destroy their lives. This is becoming one too many. Just hearing a Rama's situation tells us that. Hey, anyway.
And you see, just hearing a Rama situation just ticked something in your head right now.
The way she's
Since
going,
morning, it didn't tick, but
well,
now it has ticked.
Ransford from Ashaman, let's hear from you.
Okay, so good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I'll just add a little to what Rama said.
Okay, yeah, sure, go on.
So these young ladies in senior high school are being threatened by the seniors in power, the teachers in power.
Yeah.
Like masters, head of academic teachers. Because how can you tell me that a young girl you are teaching is going to collide with you into having sexual relationship, if not threatening her or maybe forcing her to do it? So I think the government needs to set a body, maybe not someone from the government body set in a school, so that the children can be able to go there, report whatever actions the teachers do. Or if the teacher has to threaten the student, the teacher can, the student can go there and then talk to them. Because sometimes when the teachers do that, they have nobody to report them to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have nobody. If a teacher says a young girl should come and then have sex with her, she can't report to the headmaster, because she feels like the teacher is going to talk to the headmaster, and then it's going to be like a school case, and then it's going to be just packed somewhere, and then they're not going to talk about it.
Right.
Who are those disciplinary committees in the school?
Right.
The headmaster, the teacher. And then those same people are the ones doing that to the students. And then it's not fair.
Right. All right. Thank you, Ransford. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ransford actually agrees with what Irama is saying.
Yeah.
And, like I said, if you look at this in a broader perspective, you will see the sort of ripple effect that it has. So it doesn't just affect this person psychologically, maybe give the person a disease, maybe the person gets pregnant and the teacher abandons. The girl her dream can end. She can stop school.
Shattered.
And that's it. Somebody that wants to be a nurse, that wants to be a doctor, that could actually be the president's next, like in the future.
For all you know, the
that's
family is
the
also
end.
struggling to
Do
look
you
after that
understand?
child.
And she said her mother could not speak, like it was not educated, so she could not sort of like fight for her. But anyway, that message that you read, where the guy was trying to blame, he said we should
also put some of the
blame on the girl. So the question I have to for that person is, so because a girl dances on TikTok, because a girl acts a certain way on TikTok, does that actually give the right to a teacher
to take
advantage of that? Is the teacher a dog? Did she put a leash on his neck to say, follow me? Oh, because I'm dancing on TikTok, I want you to. They should do that. Is the teacher not supposed to be the adult? You don't have self-control as a teacher. As a man, you don't have self-control. You are just walking on earth like that. And because a woman just show maybe small skin, hey, you want it. Then there's something wrong with you. There's something psychologically wrong with you.
Which has to be checked.
Oh.
Anyway, another message says that good morning. Society is our problem. Someone will stand for virtues, and finally anti-virtues will make you suffer. I have a this one so say. Why don't female teachers speak up when
Very good question.
they witness male teachers befriending female students inappropriately? They see it, they know it, and they should be the ones raising their voices to protect these students. This is Prince from Elembele. But the question is, even if they see it, they say something about it, the headmasters are at the helm of affairs in the school. So who are you going to report to?
No, and and sometimes this is still the whole cycle of abuse. Because this teacher might have this female teacher might have gone through something like that.
Yes.
Maybe she's going through domestic violence at home. Maybe she's been sexually abused before, so she cannot speak. Nobody fought for her, so she can't fight for another person. This is why we say this thing has a ripple effect.
It's a big problem which has to be addressed. It has to be fixed.
It's like mothers that have gone through domestic violence, mothers that have gone through abusive marriages. There are a lot of them that can't tell their daughters leave that abusive marriage. Oh, but we did it. But we did it in our time.
We could stay in there.
We could stay.
So
you
try and
understand?
stay in there.
So try and stay. And he's the man. He's providing. So
But this one too, another message to coming in is also asking that we also apportion blames to some of the students. This one says, good morning to you and your colleague. I'm Gabby from Spintex. As much as we condemn the actions of both the tutor and the students, we must also take a closer look at the behavior of some students. We have seen instances where students assault or even physically attack their teachers. However, regardless of the circumstances, no teacher, whether male or female, should ever be involved in such act as a student. Well, let's speak to Stephanie from Adenta quickly. Stephanie, good morning. What do you make of what we are discussing now? And let's hear from you.
Okay. Good morning to you also. And I think to control this, I think there must be external personnel also who will come and check up on school. Because some of the students are scared to go to the teachers within their school to, report such issues to them that this is what is bothering them or something. So I think, in my opinion, I think there must be external counselors also who come around and asking students what's bothering them and things. Yes.
Beautiful submission, Stephanie. We are grateful for that. So continuing the message says that, however, regardless of the circumstances, no teacher, whether male or female, should be involved in such act with the students. I'm certain that if investigations are carried out on the students of the school, we would be surprised at the amount of information that may suffice regarding similar issues. This is why we must do more and take stronger measures in our schools to curb such instances and such exploitation. However, the culprit should really be dealt with. This is coming from Gabby. Says, thank you. Another message says that, good morning. This issue is presently across all schools in Ghana, from primary to tertiary level. As teacher, at St. Louis College in Kumasi is pressuring my sister, who is in level 100, to do something with her. Other students confirm that if you refuse, he threatened to lower your grades. Teachers or the headmaster of St. Louis Senior High School or College, you'd want to take you from this and see who this person is and what is really going on in the school. Another message also says that, good morning, this issue at hand goes beyond, and I'm believing that the authority would handle it. Let's take the call from Isaac shortly, and we'll deal more with the messages that are coming through thick and fast. Isaac, let's hear from you.
Yes, sir. So I just want to contribute to the subject matter, the discussion about some teachers taking advantage of those students.
Yeah, Isaac, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes, so my worry has to do enforcement and implementation and our society as a whole. I'm pretty young, but then I remember God days, even in our society, when you see something going wrong, you can contribute or correct. Unlike today, I quite remember some time past, there is this priest. It came on television news that the priest was actually kissing the students. And then when it came to public notice that they will have to punish him or whatsoever. But our system is such that I saw one panelist advocating that they should have a place where the children can report if they are subjected to some of these acts that we are talking about. Because a lady called her, she was actually expelled from school because of that act, because she didn't keep home. And my worry is that they will make a panel of a particular station that, or if you go and report to Mr. ABC, but the child would rather go there and then be victimized instead of they supporting the plight of the child and they do the right thing. So my concern and my worry is that our fiber as humans in Ghana, looking at what our forefathers or our parents were doing, now that we are civilized, we are educated, rather, our qualities were deteriorating.
Isaac, thank you so much for your submission. We are grateful for that. A lot of messages are coming, Chris. A number of them. So this one that I was reading before Isaac came in says that the issue goes beyond, and I'm believing that authority will handle it. I believe parents should also play much role in this. Very important. We need the parents in there. This one also says that in as much as we would say this century is tough to rule, I believe parents should also open up or get information and be more comfortable room for the awards, and they'll be able to discuss issues with the parents on what is going on.
Lord.
Some parents are very strict, making children not to feel comfortable to express ill actions of these old men. Again, I think GES should as well put in place a uniform, a well uniform as for normal school days, for vacation and for weekend classes too. When you see what these students put on for classes as bad, it's also sort of like Natufo was saying, there's not really invitation to treat. We have a caller coming in. Let's hear from you, your name and where you're calling from, and let's hear from you what you have to share with us.
My name is Ordinary Man from Sola.
Okay, let's hear from you, sir.
On this issue, my problem is that we have to tackle it politically and then detach it from emotion. The reason is that the cat is bigger than the mouse. But when the cat comes out, the mouse goes after it. So the mouse is by himself, decides to protect himself by hiding from the cat all the time. My lady presenter. You see, in as much as we are trying to let the grown-up, the educated, you see, the fool is a fool whether educated or not. But when we are educating them, we should let the children also know that we must also be educated enough to make sure that we avoid inviting enmities into our life. Why? The fact that I am aware that I am not supposed to do ABC as a grown-up doesn't make the young ones also to be naked on the street because they know that they are not supposed to start that. So some of the things that our ladies do, our students do on social media, let's also educate them so that they will have in their own minds that we must also make sure that we educate ourselves from our own angle. We don't do certain things that will attract danger into our life. So that when someone goes beyond that and do that, the person can be well punished. And then we can all go after that person. But when we find a system that people are living immorality, children are living some level of immorality in school by displaying things. When student ladies will do social media, we are coming after your husband, we are doing all those things. And we are not telling the children that these are not good. But whenever anything like that happens, they come out with it, and then we blame only the grown-ups because they are mature.
All right.
Just protecting the whole system.
All right. I've heard you. I've heard you, but I have one question to ask you. There's been some incidents where little girls as young as 10 years old or 6 years old, or even babies have been sexually abused, defiled. How do you describe that? How is a diaper exciting a man?
That is the more reason why I am saying that let it be holistic. But you see, the thing is that, like you said, a younger one like that was defiled. It was defiled.
Yes, so how is the diaper affecting the man? I want to understand. Since it's about what women wear sometimes or what the girls wear.
No, I'm not saying what they wear per se. Like you and I are aware of the social media today.
Okay, so you mean like when the girls go on social media and say certain things, have you also asked yourself that is it because they are exposed to these men that they have become so comfortable, having sexual intercourse with grown-up men that now they have the guts to actually go on social media and say, we will steal your husband? Somebody's husband had something to do with them. That is why they can actually come out today and said, wow, we will steal your husband. Don't you think so?
So that is where my point is. That's what I'm saying, that is where my point is. That is why I'm saying that.
Okay, thank you. I think point well made with that one. This one, a message saying that, good morning, Philip. Please, I'm Joseph from Winneba. As teachers, we just went through an online course on sexual harassment. So I don't know why still colleague teachers would do this to disgrace the teaching fraternity. Also, some colleague male teachers with positions do these things with girls to commit offense, like going out without exit, etc. These things are very true, and they are going on in school. Same, some have sex with girls and cancel their cases. Well, I don't know whether it's courses or cases. This one too says that the same thing happened to my sister, and she always complained to my mother. There was a certain day I and my brother and myself went there ourselves, then gave a strong warning to the teacher, and we were three brothers, and she was the only girl. So we didn't forgive the teacher at all. Honestly, the warning was serious. He saw that we weren't joking, especially the private senior high school. That place is a very, very dangerous place. Well, this one too. Good morning, ChannelOne. I think it's unacceptable to all uncertain term to have on any unhealthy relationship with your female student. As a teacher, I think we should look at this both ways. Some of our students are great worry, especially now that there is no discipline in our schools. My experience, one time in my class, a student was making noise. I pulled a cane. The student girl said to me, "Sir, I fear cane, but I want this one." Well, I don't know whether you're saying that I don't fear cane, but I want this one. I asked which one. She pointed to my manhood. Oh, okay. And the whole class burst into laughter. Imagine a teacher who can't control himself.
Then he's not supposed to be a teacher. I think
discipline should be brought back, and by that I mean in all forms. Today, teachers fear to discipline students, and likewise, this is coming from Dan, teacher in OT region. But Chris, I think that in as much as the student or the teacher must be in a proper way, the student must also be in a very proper way.
Exactly.
Because
So that comes from home.
good. So parents coming here or guardians, you wouldn't want to point at a teacher's manhood and be saying that instead of the cane, I want the teacher's manhood.
So you see,
That
this is
so
this is where
wrong.
discipline comes
Or
in.
maybe
This is where discipline comes in as a teacher.
The kind of conversation between the teacher and the student,
or another teacher
yes,
and that
yes,
student.
because I don't think that a student will just wake up and just make those comments.
That's what I'm saying.
and all
Like
that.
see,
Anyway.
Philip, it's like this. It's like children are innocent. Like the color white.
Yeah.
Something must stain it. A
Yeah.
black ink must stain it for the ink to spread.
Yeah, to
So
spread.
there's something going on.
But then again, someone too wouldn't also argue that I wouldn't want to be too, to be like an authoritarian. I wouldn't want to be too strict to the extent that the students will be scared of me and will be running away from me.
But if you see your student behaving hypersexually, then there is a problem.
Problem somewhere.
There's a problem somewhere. You know, I told you sexual abuse can cause someone to be very hypersexual.
Yeah.
And that is what people don't understand. They think that, oh no, it's always being hypersexual, being afraid of sex. No, hypersexuality can come into play because it's a thing of power, because they want to reclaim their power after having been abused.
Anyway, let's bring you some more messages. Good morning. The teacher isn't right, but let's not see this one way. These are the same girls that before ending their exams was online threatening people to hold their husbands well. These so-called small girls can't be doing this online, and the community isn't condemning them. The authority should punish both the teacher and the students. Thank you. This one also says that, good morning. A neighbor's daughter got mad at JSS after a teacher having an affair with her. Disappointed her and went to US because the grandma was an illiterate and she just looked on. Another message to I think parents should also talk to their girls. Very important. I had a conversation with a male teacher. He said those girls do disturb him a lot. You think you don't care, you don't take care, you can fall into their trap. The student too, you can see she go be stubborn, papa. See how she was relaxed and open 360 degrees, enjoyed the thing smoothly. At this point, I think teacher-student relationship to be a course at teacher training schools. Into bracket the courses, consequences and solutions. I am sure there is something like that. I'm very sure there is something like that. And it should be included in the basic school curriculum because A, the devil will tell you to do the do. The devil will still inform another person to set the camera. This is my point of view. Thank you. And this is coming from Mustafa from Paga. Good morning, senior. Good. Do you know of the students? Do you know that some of the students also trap the teachers because of their past humiliations? The teachers once gave her. Some teachers are innocent of the act. The messages keep coming.
And there's the last one here. Good morning to your crew. I want your fellow crew, that's the lady, that's me, to understand that. Imagine having a girl child and you give her all the luxury in form of laptops, phones. She leaves home to a studio over hours. Does she know what the girl does with her phones? She leaves home, like in the absence of the parents with the gadgets.
Yes.
This kind of attitude is what put up when they go to the boarding schools. See, I don't think there's anything wrong with gadgets. That we've said it so many times here that it's important to have restrictive apps for your children. If you do not know how to control it, you should learn it.
We have a caller on the line. I think we will end with this caller. Let's hear from you. Your name, where you are calling from, and what do you make of what do you make of what we are having the conversation?
Well, actually, this particular topic is very important, and these things is keep on happening day in, day out, and it seems like, the society really doesn't, deal with this matter from the top. I hope we're in Ghana here when even tertiary, right? And the whole professor was engaged into acts like this. Where does this matter ended up? So the question is that it is a time, they have to dedicate a time like this. Keep on bringing these people
into public gallery to disgrace them. Because the Ghana, the culture that we have is that as we are talking about the issues, first place, when this matter happened, these persons, this teacher who's involved, supposed to be arrested. First place. But all that we have, it looks like that somebody is robbing stuff around with these issues. All you know, one day you could hear that, oh, some chief or whatever says, oh, this person and whatever, and the matter died naturally. And another day, the same similar thing will happen. You will waste the airtime in this manner. As I'm speaking to you right now, that professor, what is he now? He is being rewarded. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for your time. We are grateful. Chris Carter, we have a lot of messages.
So many messages. They're coming for me.
A lot of messages. This one before you came in, I was talking to you. Both parties are wrong. And another one too says the lady host is talking as if the ladies are innocent in every sexual act that happens in schools. Maybe she's from the old.
I'm 75 years old.
Do you know what happens in our schools these days? Do you know what we are seeing and hearing from these girls? She has no idea. The teacher is wrong in all ways, but she shouldn't make this look as if the girls know nothing.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying the girls don't know anything.
See. You are a teacher in the school. You see, the Bible says that flee from.
Exactly.
Just flee. See, you think that you are enjoying what is happening as a teacher or headmaster, but the end results. Let's speak to Anita. We understand she has a personal experience. She'll share with us quickly. Tell us what she thinks of what we are having conversation. Then we come back to the same conversation. Anita, let's hear from you.
Okay, I completed in secondary school 25 years ago. This same teacher did the same thing during our batch, 1999. He was having an affair with most of the students. And because of that, he was sacked 3 months to our final exams. Because he was using some girl's school fee to feed her and the students and that girl for almost from Form 1 second term to Form 3 third term.
Wow.
He was using the money, the girl's school fees. When the parents give the school fees for the girl to come and pay, this teacher will not allow the lady to pay. So he was using the money, and they are staying in his house in the campus. And if he said that he loves you or he wants to have something with you, and you will not allow, this teacher will cane you. Even he will sack you from the school to make sure that you are even repeated. Otherwise, you go back to your house. So on I think around October 1999, a policeman, the issue went to our headmaster because during our registration time, this lady couldn't register. And we found that her teacher found out why. And because of that, this man was sacked from the school by police.
Wow. Anita, thank you so much for your story, and it's a very sad one.
It's the same man.
Yeah, this is. But you see, what we are saying is, as the teacher, you are saying that the students sort of are luring you, people are teasing you, are trying to get you to sleep with them or to have all this kind of relationships with them. Mind you, see, what goes around comes around, and you think that you've done it to one person, you've done it to the next person, you've done it to the third person. See, embarrassment, when it comes and it hits you hard and you are not able to stand it, you lose your job. People will tend to be pointing fingers at you. We were in the same country when something similar happened. You know of that headmaster who engaged in that relationship with a student, and the whole kitchen stew thing became a whole thing. Where is he now? The whole kitchen stew became an expensive thing that even on the day of his funeral, people were actually selling kitchen stew as his funeral. So if you are a teacher out there and you think that you've been given invitation to treat, and you say, oh, this is fala, I would want to go in for it, then see, you are in for doom. You are counting, your days are numbered. Again, if you are a student and you go to the school and you think that, hey, this is what I would want to do. Maybe a friend of yours has done it. She's been able to get her way around it, and she's okay with it. She's been able to get all the grades and all that, and she's gone. And you also have another student, the same colleague of yours, who is going to do it, and you think that now you also want to do it and you want to be successful.
Right.
At the end of the day, who bears the brunt when the trouble comes in? The shame carries you. Both of you carry the shame.
Yeah, and you see, this is like everybody. Most of the people now sending messages think, okay, I'm with the students, and I love what they are doing. No, I don't enjoy what the girls do on social media. I don't enjoy that they expose themselves in such manners. I don't enjoy that, and I'm not saying that girls cannot want to seduce. Yeah, there are seductresses everywhere. But the truth is, you are the adults. You should have a bit of self-control. And if there's a situation where that is happening, or where you think a student is misconducting herself, then you should report it.
Yes.
Then you should report it.
You've seen a student doing same to you as a teacher or whatever in the school, and you've been sitting down for a very long time. This has been happening, and eventually you get into the relationship. Mind you, that student, as soon as you sleep with a student 1, 2, 3, 4, it sort of breaks that ice. Then the individual now becomes, oh, now I know more of the teacher,
but
so
Philip,
I can now sort of disrespect the teacher.
Exactly.
So that's how come
disrespect any other teacher.
Exactly. So that's how come that student in the school will feel very sort of emboldened to do certain things in the school.
Yeah.
So now you see these students coming on social media
doing
and
whatever.
posting videos,
Exactly.
and now they know that because I have the headmaster at my beck and call, or he's in my pocket, and I know how I can deal with him. Even when he sees my phone, I don't care. The headmaster will bring back my phone because I'm sleeping with the headmaster in the school.
You see, so they think it's something you can just do because it started from somewhere. It started from somewhere, and you know, like if we look at it, it's affecting our society already because our society thinks this is a norm, and it's what happens to most of African men when they go abroad. They go and start talking to younger girls, and then they put them on the internet and disgrace them and their family and their whole lineage that they're talking to little girls.
Beautiful. Anyway, we have conversations on the City Business Olympics, but we have a lady in studio who wears many hats. She's an educationist. We speak to her briefly on this before we go on the CVO. Teacher, how are you?
I'm well, Philip. How are you?
We are doing well. Your brief comment on this before we enter into CVO.
You know, I'm listening to Chris, and she's saying everything that I'm feeling. You know, it's very unfortunate that, and we've spoken about this several times, we don't have anybody who works on the mental health and capacity of our young people in our schools. And that's a conversation we need to have on its own. It's also unfortunate that many of our educators are not able to enter a classroom and see that this child is dealing with an issue. It goes beyond, you know, we've spoken about learning disabilities, challenges and all of that. But then this child has come to school and is dealing with abuse. This child has come to school and is hyperactive. This child has come to school and is socially awkward. Unfortunately, many of our educators can't even pick up these things. Now, Chris was speaking a lot about the hypersexuality. You know, when a person, and this can be a young person, an older person, goes through a traumatic experience, usually you don't see them operating in the middle of a spectrum. They're at one end or the other. So you have women, for example, who are, you know, grown, who are abused when they're younger, but they're very hypersexual. And the parlance will call them harlots, prostitutes, but when you trace it back, you realize that they are acting out to regain that power that was taken from them. You also have those who become very timid. Some who even say, I never want to see a man in my life. I will not marry. I don't want children. I don't want anybody to touch me. Because we don't talk about these things, we can't even recognize it when we see it. It happens with the boys too. Now, when you see young girls on social media behaving in a certain way, these are conditions that we are not addressing. Mind you, you see, we also have a situation in Ghana which has become very rampant. Sex as a currency. So many young girls are giving their bodies away for call credit, for sanitary pads, for school fees, for food to also take home to their families. very often it's not about the sexual act. It's about the economics of the home or what they are going through. We are not talking about these things. Now, I mean, the lawyers will say it better, but when it comes to power dynamics and sexuality, yes, you can talk about statutory rape, a minor with an older person, but then the Criminal Code Act, Section 40 in particular, we talk about consent. Usually the conversation comes up that when the power dynamic is so clear, there's actually nothing like consent, because you, the person who holds the power in the situation, should be able to put a stop to something before it even happens. And that is my concern, that as a country are even having the conversation that we should be blaming the young girl. Look, there's also the thing where anything that a girl presents in how they dress, how they speak, is not an invitation for sexual activity. Have we not seen in this country babies being defiled? Children, toddlers who are barely out of diapers being defiled. Women who are veiled, Muslima women being defiled. We've seen it. Unfortunately, though, victims will never talk because they worry that when things like this happen, this is how it comes out. But it speaks to a bigger issue in our educational institutions, like I said. Are we equipping our educators to be able to recognize what is wrong in the first place? So you can have that conversation with a parent, with a guardian. You know, we need to get serious about it. Otherwise, before you realize, this thing will become a pandemic in this country. And it's something that we won't be able to, you know, come back from.
Beautiful submission.